Taking them drugs, bro? For legal reasons, Tyler just took ibuprofen, not hard drugs. What up, everyone, and welcome back to Hangover On Downs. It is a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday afternoon. I'm your co-host, Logan, of course, joined by my amazing co-host, Tyler. Tyler, say what's up. Tell us how you're doing. What's going on, man?
Well, I have a massive headache, as you can see. I'm laying down right now. But the podcast has to come out.
The show must go on. The show
It
must go
must go
on.
on.
Real quick, before we hop into our main topic of today, I do want to address the Caleb Farley situation a little bit. I just want to send my thoughts and prayers out to him and his family, man. If you don't know what happened, basically there was just, I guess, a gas line explosion at his house last night and killed his father. Tragic situation, really. Mike Vrabel spoke on it a little bit earlier. Definitely should go check it out if you haven't. But with that being said, what are we talking about today, Tyler?
Well, today we're going to go over the regular season predictions, and then we're going to hop into our playoff predictions.
Alrighty, so do you how do you want to do this, my friend?
I think you can start off with your AFC, and then I'll do my AFC, and then we can go over to NFC.
All right, so this is,
or we could do by divisions, whichever one you think would be better.
let's do. I'll do AFC, then you do your AFC, then you do NFC, then I'll do my NFC. Does that work?
Yep.
All right. Starting it off with the AFC East, I have my division winning New York Jets. Listen, man. I know. Listen, man. Hear me out, okay?
I'm listening.
Aaron Rodgers. That's all. I mean, I know you love Aaron Rodgers.
No, I don't. No. See, what gets me, though, is the 1 seed right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's what gets me.
Okay, but to be fair, the 1 and 7 seed, right? There's 2 wins in between them. But anyway, we'll keep going. But I just hit my cord again. So I have the Jets finishing atop of the division, and then I got the Bills and the Dolphins both finishing at 11-6. I mean, if Tua stays healthy, there is no reason why this Dolphins team shouldn't win 10, 11 games. That's just how I see it. The Patriots, I really don't know how they ended up being 5-12 because I do think that they'll probably win more games than that, but just kind of how it played out, man. One thing I want to clarify is, like, just because that these are the records that we have, like, like, the Patriots are probably going to win more than 5 games. Maybe they won't, but they probably will, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's just kind of how it played out with my schedule. But I have the Commanders over there at 2-15, but we'll get into that in a minute. So, yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, man, we were talking about before the podcast. I'll go ahead and be the first to say it. Josh Allen, man, if they get matched up with Mahomes again in the playoffs, Josh Allen might be on fraud watch. But and then finishing last in the Patriots is the Patriots. I do think the Patriots will finish last in the division, but I think that they'll win more than 5 games. But that's just kind of how it played out at 5-12. The Patriots just, this is a very, very heavy division, and the Patriots just don't have it, man. Moving into the West, I don't think that this should be a surprise. I got the Chiefs winning the division at 13-4. I'm not going into depth about the Chiefs. So the Chargers are an interesting one, man. Because whenever I was doing this, okay, so I had the Chargers finishing at 10 wins. And I'm pretty big on the Chargers this year. I'm big on Justin Herbert. But the Chargers, I don't know. I guess it's just kind of how it played out. And I definitely could see a world where if Tua, gets hurt, I don't think the Dolphins will end up winning 11 games if Tua goes down. So, and that could leave room for teams like the Chargers to slide in, maybe pick up an extra win, get in at 11 wins. But this AFC is just so tough, and I only got one team from the AFC West in general making the playoffs.
I got a question mainly for the fans' sake. You have the Broncos going 9-8. I know a lot of fans may disagree with that.
I don't see a world where the Broncos are as bad as they were last year. I don't. I think Russell Wilson will enjoy a nice bounce back. And Russell Wilson did have a nice, or not nice, but he was better the second half of the season. And then, of course, you bring in Sean Payton. I mean, I can't put him in the playoffs. I just can't put him in the playoffs. I don't think that roster is. I don't think that roster is 10-11 win good, especially in the West. But I think Russell Wilson does enjoy a nice bounce back. But I don't think he is back to Seattle. Russell Wilson is as much as it pains me to say, because I've been a Russell Wilson believer pretty much his entire career. I don't think Russell Wilson is the same quarterback. I really don't. Raiders at 6-11. I hate that Devontae Adams has to spend this year on this team. I really do. But hey, man, Jimmy G about to come out and
No. Aiden O'Connell's going to step in. He's going to lead this team to the Super Bowl. Damn it! Mark my words.
I mean, but there's still positives to this team. Josh Jacobs is still here. Devontae Adams. Do you think that there's a chance he could hold out?
No.
Or do you think he for sure plays?
I think he for sure plays.
Okay. I mean, because I could see a world where the Raiders win more than 6 games, maybe win 7-8 games. Because, like I said, there's still very promising pieces to this team. Jimmy Garoppolo is a more than capable quarterback, as has been shown many times. Of course, you still have Devontae Adams. You lose Darren Waller. Max Crosby's still on defense. I mean, there's pieces to like about this team, and the Raiders really could be down for a year, retool, and then be right back. But I think that this is the down year. But the pieces are still there, man. They really are. I don't think Jimmy G is the answer, but the pieces are still there. They really are.
I think you need to get McDaniels out of there. Mm-hmm. I think he's horrible.
Moving into the North, I got the division-winning Bengals. The Bengals seemingly every offseason address, like, obviously the, was it Lyle Collins? That did not work out, but, you know, Lyle Collins also had some legal issues and just injuries and stuff like that, but, it seems like every offseason the Bengals go out and they retool, they add another offensive line piece, or they do something to their secondary. Of course, they lost Jesse Bates. It just feels like to me every offseason the Browns, like, they do something to benefit Burrow. And of course you still have Jamar Chase. I mean, just an all-around great receiving core. Joe Mixon's still there. I mean, Bengals have been good for the last, 2 seasons now. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be again.
You're free. Yeah.
The Ravens. So this was tough for me, okay? Really tough. Because for some reason, I want to predict the Browns to be good. I don't know why, because I don't know.
Because Deshaun used to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Now he's not.
But I don't know if Deshaun being bad last year was because he just hadn't played in so long, or if maybe Deshaun really is not who we thought Deshaun was. But maybe Deshaun isn't exactly who we thought he was. But there's still so much to like about this Browns team. I mean, Nick Chubb, Amari Cooper, they got Elijah Moore now, Donovan Peoples-Jones. There's a lot to like about this team, and of course I didn't mention Myles Garrett, but I want to predict the Browns to be good. I really do. They're one of the hardest teams to predict for me.
I know why. Because Deshaun Watson was a top probably 10 quarterback with the Texans and just completely fell off.
I was about to make a hand job joke, but I'm gonna refrain anyway. And then finishing up last in the division, I got the Steelers. Now, I mean, I think the Steelers will finish last, but kind of like I said with the Patriots, like I could see the Steelers winning more than 5 games. But I mean, there's still some stuff to like about the Steelers in year 2. Kenny Pickett. How has Kenny Pickett been playing in training camp? Do you know?
I've read solid, but I haven't exactly seen a whole lot. But I know last year, the stats don't really predict what he did. He was actually not very bad last year. But Kenny Pickett's one of those guys for me, like, he has a high floor but a really low ceiling.
I don't ever see Kenny Pickett being a star in this league, but...
No, and even this comparison seems like a lot. I kind of see him as like an Andy Dalton. But, I mean, you got to... Andy Dalton was a beast with the Bengals for a couple of years.
I think he could be anything from like a Andy. I think Andy Dalton's fair, actually. I think Andy Dalton is perfect. I think Bengals Andy Dalton is pretty good, but Moving into the AFC South. Okay. Now, I wanted to predict the Titans to win it, but we just lost our number 2 and number 3 receiver. Well, actually, Treylon Burks was our number 1 receiver, so we lost our number 1 receiver, and we lost Kyle Phillips. Man, it's not. You know, I think I said this in one of the first couple podcasts. I will talk about the Jaguars. I know, division-winning Jaguars. But anyway, the thing with the Titans, man, is just can Tannehill do it? And I think that if Tennessee starts bad, Tannehill probably gets benched at some point this season, and we see Malik Willis. I'm willing to bet we probably will not see Will Levis this year in regular season action. The only
How do you feel?
What?
How do you feel about that? If they were to bench Tannehill, it would probably be Malik Willis starting.
I mean, at the end of the day, Malik Willis is the year 2 guy. I mean, you know, I think obviously Levis's ceiling is way higher, but to be 100% honest with you, I don't know if either of those guys are the future of the quarterback position. I don't. I think Levis
can be.
I don't think it'll be Malik Willis. I think Levis can be. But then, you know, the 11-6 Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is going to definitely, if he hasn't already, he's going to solidify himself as a top 10 quarterback in this league. I mean, the rookie year, you know, we all kind of knew that. I mean, look at who his head coach was. Come on now. And of course, you know, they get Calvin Ridley. Defense should theoretically be better this year. You're going into year 2 with Trayvon Walker. And who I've actually seen has been pretty good in camp. So maybe Trayvon Walker takes a big year 2 jump. Obviously was not too impressive as a rookie last year. Not that he was bad. He just didn't do anything crazy. And then the 4-13 Colts and the 4-13 Texans, it ultimately just boils down to quarterback. I mean, I think Stroud will have a better rookie year. And yeah, I think Stroud will have a better rookie year. But I just, you know, I still can't put the Texans really above 4 and 5 wins. And then the Colts, I think especially with Jonathan Taylor probably on the move now, because they are finally allowing him to actually seek a trade. So with Jonathan Taylor on the move, you literally lose your MVP of your offense, you know, just 2 years ago. And, you know, he wasn't amazing last year, but how much of that was really his fault too? I mean, as much as I've shat on Jonathan Taylor and the Colts, how much of that is really his fault? But
injury, bad offensive line.
But and then the Texans, and then you know, like I said, the Texans, but the Colts, man, Anthony Richardson. I'm not saying Anthony Richardson is going to be bad. I just don't think he's in the right position to succeed as a rookie, and I don't see Anthony Richardson having a good year. I really don't. I think he struggles.
I have to agree with that one.
So, with that being said, here is what my seeding ended up being in the AFC. So we got the 1 seed Jets, okay? Overall 1 seed in the AFC. So they're getting the first round bye. Then we got Chiefs at the 2 seed, Bengals at the 3 seed, Jags at the 4 seed, Ravens at the 5 seed, and then Dolphins, Bills is my 6 and 7 seed. But another thing I wanted to clarify, between my 1 and my 7th seed, there is only 2 wins. That is the difference. Just 2 wins. So take that how you want. But let's hop into your AFC.
You might want to pause it real quick. So we're going to start with the AFC West. I think it's pretty clear my winner is. I have the Chiefs going 14-3. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid. It's the Chiefs. Chris Jones. I don't think really much I need to explain on that. Second place, barely missing out on the playoffs. I have the 10-7 Chargers. Herbert, in my opinion, is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. You have Ken Allen, Mike Williams, and you drafted Quentin Johnston, Joey Bosa-Clomac. It's a good team, and I think they'll have a solid year. Now, I do think they could sneak into the playoffs. I mean, this may not be necessarily what I'd choose right off the top of my head. But it is a good team. What's killed them over the past few years is injuries and bad coaching. But, I mean, the pieces are there. You can't deny that. Even if you hate the Chargers, you cannot deny that the pieces are there.
The biggest problem for the Chargers, I think, has been coaching.
Coaching and injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, injuries have been a bitch for them, but I mean, and their cornerback group. I mean, you paid J.C. Jackson, and he didn't really do much last season. He actually kind of got
So Samuel's
exposed.
good.
What?
So Asante Samuel's good, but I
I
mean,
was gonna say Asante Samuel has been really good, but besides that, not not amazing. Nasir Adderley is finally becoming pretty good, which I love to see.
yeah,
I've been big on Nasir Adderley for a while, so I'm really glad to see him
yeah.
finally coming into his own.
What's Kenneth Murray been?
That is a great question. Keep talking, and I will tell you.
All right, but I'm gonna go down to the Broncos till he finds that out. I have them go 9-8, so I think me and Logan are exactly the same so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's exactly like what you said. I think Russ does have a bounce back year. I don't think it's Seattle form Russ, but I think he will be good. I think he'll be a French top 10 quarterback.
So,
And
just for the record, Kenneth Murray last year had a 47.8 PFF grade, and his stats
oh,
were he had one sack, one interception, and hold on, let me get a Pro Football Reference, and he had a forced fumble, and one quarterback hit. So it doesn't seem like Kenneth Murray is really. Listen, I'll be the first to say I don't really check out Chargers games, so that's why I'm looking it up. Really like Kenneth Murray at Oklahoma, but it just doesn't really seem like he's.
yeah, which he had a solid rookie year. I remember that.
So Kenneth Murray's rookie year, yeah, it was pretty good. Wasn't bad.
Yeah, very solid for a rookie. I thought.
He actually kind of looks like he got hurt in his second year, but they moved him to the inside his second year
Hmm.
because they were playing him on the outside, on the right side. They
Yeah,
moved him to the inside his second year, and it looks like that's actually where he played his best, but then he got hurt, and now he's back playing on the outside. So take that how you want it.
yeah. Well, enough of Kenneth Murray.
Kenneth Murray.
But I'll add on to the Broncos here a little bit. I mean, you hired Sean Payton, who's probably one of the best coaches of this generation. I mean, honestly, I don't even think there's an argument for that.
See, it's pretty
Um,
easy if you ask me. I mean, all the Broncos have to do is just get Sean Payton to pay his players to hurt people, and then
exactly.
bad joke, bad joke, bad joke.
But I mean, they did invest in the offensive line. They signed Ben Powers to I believe like a 5 year, $62 million deal. And I know that Mike McGlinchey was like a 5 year, 84. So I mean, that's big money. But I mean, you did invest in two solid players on the offensive line.
I don't hate the Mike McGlinchey contract at all.
I do. I don't like it.
I don't hate it. I really don't.
You're paying, in my opinion, an above average right tackle, top tier left tackle money. That's the reason I'm not so big on it. Now, Mike McGlinchey's a player I think's amazing. Yeah, but like I was saying, I mean,
Oh,
Sean
Mike
Payton.
McGlinchey. My bad. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, we had to pause it there for a second, but I mean, we'll get back to it.
We've had a lot of technical difficulties tonight. It's been really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it's been about what,
Recording
2 hours?
recording a podcast when you're 4 hours apart is not a fun thing. But
No, it's not.
but no, I agree with you about the Broncos. But I do not hate the Mike McGlinchey contract. I mean, because if Mike McGlinchey's not there, then it's Isaiah Prince.
Very true.
I mean,
Pretty
and
bad.
then I like that on the other side of Garrett Bowles.
Yeah, Garrett Bowles is really solid too.
And Lloyd Cushenberry too he's becoming a pretty solid center of his own. So
Yeah, and they brought in Randy Gregory, who I thought a little overpaid, but he's a good player, especially last year in Dallas. I mean, he has had his legal troubles on and off the field, but when he's on the field, he's a great player. And that
then,
defense as a whole,
yeah,
real,
then they still have quite possibly the best or one of the best man-to-man corners in the league.
yeah, Patrick Surtain is very good, to say the least. But I'm gonna quit talking about the Broncos here. I'm gonna go to Vegas. I haven't finished in 5-12. I think it's one less win than you had.
I had him at 5 wins.
Okay, so I mean we had the same AFC West. So here's my thing, and I believe I said this in one other podcast. You upgraded from Derek Carr to Jimmy Garoppolo.
They
And
did say it was an upgrade.
And I see, and I'm not a Garoppolo hater. I'm not. I do think he was a bit overrated in San Francisco. Just look at the team he played with and the coach he played under.
Hmm.
I mean, Brock Purdy's looking good in that system right now, like really good. And I'm not a big Brock Purdy guy. I'll
He
be
has not
honest.
been good in training camp either.
Yeah, I've seen that.
He has been a disaster apparently. So
Yeah, I mean, you've got Colton Miller on the offensive line. That's really it.
the only other notable guy I can think of on that offensive line, and the only reason I can think of him is because of you, Alex Bars.
Did he play good?
You know that's a great question. You can keep
I don't
talking.
think he played, to be honest, but I loved him in
You,
Chicago. He
you
was
can
so
you can keep talking. I'll
all right, and it's like you said, poor Devontae Adams. I mean, wow.
um.
But
So
obviously, Devontae Adams is still one of the best in the league.
Alex Bars had a PFF grade of 45.4.
I know.
Yeah, and he
He had
allowed.
good Chicago.
Huh?
I said he had good moments in Chicago.
Let's see. What was the last year he was in Chicago? 20.
20.
Yeah. In Chicago, he posted a one season. He posted a 55.6 grade and only allowed one sack.
Yeah, I don't really. He was okay. I mean, I'm not saying he was amazing, but it's his versatility is what I liked a
Hmm.
lot about him. He could play about anywhere on the offensive line besides center. But I'll go to the defense here a little bit. You drafted Tyree Wilson, high upside guy, but he's kind of raw, I believe. Needs to. I don't really know how to say this, but he doesn't really have a lot of technique. He's pure athlete.
I do have a
Kind of,
I have a question about him.
all right.
Where does he fit in to this rushing attack on the Raiders? Because you have Chandler Jones on one side, you have Max Crosby on the other.
Do you want me to be completely honest?
Where
I
does
think
he?
Chandler takes a back seat. He was horrible last year.
Does Max Crosby come more off the outside or from up the middle?
Outside.
Outside, that's what I thought. So maybe, yeah. I mean, that's about what I can think is Chandler Jones kind of becomes like a strictly run defender, and
Yeah, he
then
could be like a rotation guy with him and Tyree Wilson his first year. He was bad last year. The Raiders paid him a good bit of money. I don't really know the years of the contract off the top of my head, but I know it was a big contract, and he did not live up to it. I believe he had 3 sacks.
he had four and a
No,
half sacks.
4.5. And I know
And
the pressures weren't very good.
what'd you say?
The pressures, I don't think they were very good.
Yeah, four and a half sacks, a PFF grade of 63.8, which isn't horrible, I guess.
It isn't horrible, but it's not Chandler
But it's
Jones.
not Chandler Jones, especially when they are paying him 3 years, $51 million.
Yeah, it's not a
So
very
he
good
would be
contract.
going into year two of of his deal.
Yeah, I believe he becomes like a rotation piece. Kind of takes Tyree Wilson under his wing a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to the AFC North. I have the Bengals win the division, 12-5. Joe Burrow, in my opinion, is the second best quarterback in the league.
Mm-hmm. Mine too. Mine too.
He also has a top 3 receiving core, maybe even top 2. I would put the Dolphins over him. Decent tight end, Irv Smith. They invest in the offensive line, and I will say this: even with a bad offensive line, Joe Burrow still made that Super Bowl. Joe Burrow is that damn good.
And almost won that Super Bowl.
Almost won.
Yeah, not only made it, he almost won it.
And I think Cincinnati has a really underrated defense. Trey Hendrickson never gets talked about, and he's secretly one of the better pass rushers in the league.
Let's see here.
They also have Sam Hubbard on the other side, who's an okay player, but probably the biggest one that sticks out to me that doesn't really get talked about a lot is Logan Wilson. I mean, I believe he was on.
That linebacking core in general, Akeem Davis Gaithers, Jermaine Pratt, and Logan Wilson, that's an underrated ass linebacking core.
Underrated.
Very underrated.
Logan Wilson was undrafted, correct?
I know where he went to college. I just don't know if he was undrafted. I know he went to Wyoming.
But I mean,
No, he was a third round pick.
he's a third.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, brain fart by me, but he's been a hell of a player. I mean, it's gone sure thing. And you lost Jesse Bates, but you drafted the Alabama corner or safety last year?
Uh,
Do it all.
they drafted Dax Hill last year, but he came out of Michigan.
That's right. Okay, I had the colleges mixed up. I was thinking of Brian Branch for some reason, but I know he's in Detroit.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's in Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah,
that and then well, no, you're right. They Jordan Battle. They drafted Jordan Battle. You
Jordan
are
Battle's.
right.
That's what I was thinking of. Jordan
Yeah,
Battle, I
you
think.
are right. My bad.
But I was thinking about Dax Hill too, just a guy that can do it all. So I mean, it's a very underrated defense. But I mean, is there really much else I need to say about the Bengals?
The Bengals, there are three. I think the Bengals, like at this point, are surefire contenders every year. Like it's not like maybe like contenders; they are surefire contenders every year.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Joe Burrow is that dude.
But moving on to my second place in the division, that is the Baltimore Ravens. I think this all depends on one thing: can Lamar Jackson stay healthy? And in no way am I a Lamar hater. I mean, I'm not one of those people that says he's a running back. See, he can throw the ball. It's just his play style. You don't really see a lot of guys last that long in the NFL. And that's nothing against Lamar. That's more so against his play style. And that's what scares me so much about Justin Fields as a Bears fan. Because, I mean, I'm not going to say RG3, but, I mean, if you look at how RG3 played,
Or Cam
I
Newton.
mean, Cam Newton, you just don't see these guys last very long. And we're already starting to see Lamar Jackson get injured. Was this 2 years in a row now?
Mm-hmm. He is not. He hasn't played a full healthy year since his MVP year.
He has not. And that's my biggest problem here. And, you signed Odell. Again, another injury-prone receiver. Rashad Bateman, injury-prone receiver. You drafted Zay Flowers, who I think's going to be a really good slot in this league, but they don't have a lot of depth when it comes to the skill positions. And, I mean, you have Tyler Huntley as a backup. I mean, that's whatever. It all depends on Lamar for me. That's really it. This team could win 6 games. This team could win 11, 12.
I'm going to send you the name of the starting left guard for the Ravens, and I will give you $20 if you pronounce it correctly. This is for the podcast, guys.
All right.
Actually, all right, podcast people, I've got the name pulled up on the screen. I'm about to send it to Tyler, and we're gonna see. Just for the record, I have no clue who this guy is. Like I don't. He was a 6th-round pick this year. Try to pronounce that. Please.
Male Sala Amovav Lalu.
Malasala Amave Lalu. He's got to be Hawaiian. Has to be Hawaiian.
It's actually the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have him finishing 8-9. Decent year. I mean, it's weird with the Steelers. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. Kenny Pickett's going to be an okay quarterback, I believe. You have George Pickens, Deontay Johnson, Freiermuth. You also drafted Washington from Georgia, the tight end, Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
I'd really liked him coming out. I mean, you have T.J. Watt. I mean, I think this team will be okay. Nothing crazy, but it's also one of those teams where, like, how bright is their future?
How many wins did you have them at? I'm sorry.
9.
I had them at 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I said that I could see them winning more games, too. I mean. All right, next team.
Cleveland Browns, 7-9. Or 7-10. My bad. 7-10. I just don't think Deshaun Watson's going to ever be what he was back in Houston. He took a break from football, came back and was absolute dog shit. That's the bottom line. This team's really good on paper, but it's Cleveland. Took a break.
Sorry.
But this team's good on paper. Myles Garrett, Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward, JOK. This team's good on paper. It's Cleveland. They'll fuck it up.
Still can't get over Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah falling in the draft.
Yeah, me either.
God.
I say Cleveland fucks it up. You wait till who I talk about later. They fuck it up every year. All right, moving on to the AFC East. My division winner is the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh, okay. Why?
Here's the catch, though. 3 teams have the same exact record in this division. So I have Dolphins winning 11 games, Bills 11 games, and Jets 11 games. Now, Dolphins, can Tua stay healthy? If Tua can stay healthy, this team is scary. This is probably the fastest team that I have ever seen, and may have be the
It's
fastest.
ridiculous.
Like, I mean, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem
Mike
Mostert.
Gesicki's one of the faster tight ends in the league.
Well, what else more do you need to hear? I mean, this team's really good. Jalen Phillips, I think, is one of the rising stars in this league. It's this team's going to be good. Okay, it is. If Tua can stay healthy, this team will be a playoff team.
Hey,
Now,
but if Tua gets hurt, the GOAT, Mike White, comes in.
exactly, and then this team goes undefeated.
Skylar Thompson cannot be your backup anymore.
He played horrible in the preseason.
Good God.
But I mean, that's really all I need to say about the Dolphins. I really do like. Oh God, what's their coach's name? He played under Shanahan.
Got it in here.
I cannot remember the coach's name. Who's the Dolphins coach's name? Mike McDaniel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel. I think he's going to be an amazing coach in this league. I really do. I love the way he interacts with the players and the culture he has in that locker room. It's great. But second place, I've got the Bills. It's the Bills. They'll find a way to win in the regular season.
Joe Burrow. Josh Allen's on fraud watch.
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, I do love Josh Allen as a player, but he's got to win a playoff game. I mean, come on. Stephon Diggs is one of the best receivers in the league. It's a good team. It really is. But I'll go to the third place in this division. By the way, all three teams do make the playoffs. The Jets. I hate Aaron Rodgers as a Bears fan. I hate his guts. I hate him more than anything. But here's the bottom line, and I'm going to put bias aside here. He's a hell of a quarterback. He is. He won, was it 2 MVPs back-to-back in just the last couple of years.
Lost to the Niners both years.
That's pretty great. But, Garrett Wilson, he's got all kinds of weapons.
Team signed McCole Hardman, Randall Cobb came over, Alan Lazard came over.
Yep.
That's an underrated-ass one. I mean,
yep.
Corey Davis is still there. I mean, it's literally... And adding Dalvin Cook, it's weapons after weapons after weapons after weapons. Michael Carter is their third-string running back. Michael Carter!
Same.
Michael Carter is a RB1 on some teams.
The way they didn't talk about their tight end room, a lot of veterans. TJ...
Yeah, CJ Uzoma and...
old Vikings tight end.
Tyler Conklin.
Yeah. And the defense, I mean, led by Sauce Gardner. The defense is so young and already so good. They will be good, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if they did win the division.
What is the status on Mekhi Becton?
Hurt.
I hate that.
I do too, because he's a hell of a player when he's on the field for the 12 games.
What was the head coach, Gase, Adam Gase?
Yeah.
Gase ruined him. Because that year, in his rookie year, when he was still fucking hurt, his knee was banged up. Gase was just throwing him in everywhere.
Now, I'll tell you who that reminds me of. Washington doing the way they did RG3. I mean, is it really that different?
Adam Gase, I'm so glad he's out of the league. He's coaching at a high school somewhere. And
I will say this. He was a hell of an OC for the Bears. I will say that, but he sucked.
But good God, man. And how many games did the Jets win that year? It was his rookie year. They couldn't have won more than
2 or 3.
3 games, because that was a Darnold year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was Darnold's last year before he went to Carolina. So, God, dude, that shit, man.
That team's bad.
That still pisses me off. Like,
it does, man.
Adam Gase playing Mekhi, because Mekhi Becton is so damn good. I mean, he's a freak of nature.
He is.
Damn shame. Damn shame. Anyway, sorry.
But last place in the division, I've got the 5-12 New England Patriots.
So we were pretty much on the same wave with the Patriots.
Yeah. The Patriots are one of those teams I could see win 8-9 games. I could also see them win 3 games.
Same.
I don't think Mac Jones is the guy. I don't. Simple truth is, if you're going to make a run in the playoffs, I don't think Mac Jones is going to get you there. I really don't. And it's not a great receiving room. The line can be good when it's healthy, but that's the key word, healthy. Defense is all right. I mean, this team's very average, it feels like.
I actually...
bad.
This offense, looking at it on paper, isn't bad. Mac Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, Juju, Devontae Parker, Kendrick Bourne. Mike Gesicki's in New England now.
Zeke.
Hunter Henry, Zeke, Trent Brown, Cole Strange, David Andrews, Owinahu, and Riley Reef. I mean,
It's just the biggest thing for me is that offensive line, but it was bad
that
last year. Injuries.
that offense is not bad.
No, it's not. It's just it's honestly Mac Jones for me. I'm not a big Mac Jones guy. I think he can win you some games, but I don't think he's going to be a difference maker.
And
I
then,
really don't.
and then I'm looking at the defense. I mean, Barmore is in year 3 at this point out of Alabama, right?
All right.
Barmore, has he really done anything in the run game? Or he's what?
He's been okay.
You can't really play him against the run, unfortunately. But Judon has been fantastic.
He's a beast.
Juwan Bentley,
Okay.
Jelani Tavai, Josh Uche has been pretty good. And
He's
then, of
been
course, Jonathan Jones and Christian Gonzalez. And then Kyle Duggar has really broke out in the last couple years.
Always a big fan of college.
The team signed Jabril Peppers. Jalen Mills is still there. Okay. I will say this Patriots team is better than I thought.
My mind really hasn't switched. It's just Mac Jones.
Adrian Phillips is still there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still in this division don't see them winning more than 7 games or something like that's. I'm not changing my prediction, but
So you Mac Jones lovers.
this is
Is Mac Jones really going to ever be better than he was his rookie year?
this is the Mac Jones prove it year. Because
Tell you that.
with this team, I mean he's got 2 running back ones. He's got Devontae Parker, Juju, Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, Mike Gesicki, Anthony Ferkser, and a solid offensive line when healthy. This year is prove it for Mac Jones.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to improve shit. If you want my honest to God opinion.
I mean, if Mac Jones, so in your opinion, what would be a respectable season for Mac Jones to put up and record for them to have?
8 or 9 wins,
Okay.
minimum. I'm gonna say borderline 4,000 yards, like the average part. I'm gonna say 24 to 30 touchdowns and like maximum 10 interceptions. Like I feel like that would be a solid year for him. But the question is, can he do it? And I don't think he can. I really don't. I think Mac Jones is a great value Kirk Cousins. And if any of you Mac Jones lovers want to fight me in the comments, go ahead. Go ahead.
Every average quarterback is just a version of Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Like
But I'm going to be honest, Mac Jones really is kind of similar to him.
Mac Jones is young Kirk Cousins. Name some average quarterbacks.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo's handsome Kirk Cousins.
I can't say Jared Goff anymore.
Goofy Kirk Cousins.
Here you go. I'm thinking Taylor Heineke. I feel like that's just such a...
Taylor Heineke's his own GOAT.
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke's legendary for other reasons.
I don't know. I could think of him. I mean, okay, you're a Titans fan. Is Ryan Tannehill in that category now?
Yes. Ryan Tannehill is just another version of Kirk Cousins.
No, Baker Mayfield, awful.
Baker Mayfield is Baker Mayfield. Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is Kirk Cousins as a bad guy.
He's a bad guy, Kirk.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is Kirk Cousins playing the Packers.
Okay, here's a little hot take. Daniel Jones is an average quarterback. He's not above average. He's not good. And he is extremely overpaid. If anybody wants to fight me in that in the comments, go ahead too. I beg you.
No, you're right. I agree 100%.
The contract he got, it actually pissed me off. Like, it genuinely pissed me off because now you're seeing players like Daniel Jones get over $35 million per year. It's outrageous for me. It really is. I mean,
so I've always been the type. I'm never gonna hate on a player for getting the bag. I'm going to hate on the organization for paying the player. Congrats to Daniel Jones. Get your money, young fella. I'm serious. Get paid, you know? I wouldn't turn down that much fucking money.
I wouldn't either.
But, you know, so I'm not going to hate on the player. I'll hate on the organization, though.
And
I will never hate on a player for getting paid. Never.
I absolutely love Brian Dable. I think his system is awesome.
He has revamped everything about that team. He's probably making... Oh, sorry.
Win games, but... Oh, you're good. But Daniel Jones did win games. But imagine if they had even a Kirk... I'm about to say Kirk Cousins again.
I don't think you can say that because Daniel Jones absolutely fucking torched the Vikings in that playoff game.
He did, but...
I'm actually going to look up the stats for that. Keep talking. But.
He's so average, man. I mean... Yeah, he can move, even though sometimes he falls by himself. He moves. What area of his game sticks out?
Rushing. Daniel Jones was 24 for 35 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns with 17 carries for 78 yards.
He had a hell of a game that game. And I think Daniel Jones is the type of guy where he can have good games and he can win you games. Can he win you a Super Bowl? Can he get
Why did Justin Jefferson throw a pass in this game?
Oh, God, I remember that. I remember sending you that. Was it a touchdown pass?
No, it went for -2 yards.
Oh, shit. Oh, I'm thinking of McCaffrey's touchdown last year.
Oh, yeah, McCaffrey did throw a touchdown pass last year. Derrick Henry threw a touchdown pass last year, too. Dude, honestly, we should just play... We just need to run Wildcat. Just have Derrick Henry at quarterback all the time.
I remember the Packers putting not Daniel Jones, Jordan Love for like a game or something. So I was gonna say more than Jordan Love, but I honestly don't know.
All right, we got off topic. Where were we?
All right, AFC South.
Okay.
Not this.
Okay.
Okay, Jaguars 10-7.
Okay.
Titans.
Okay. I'm fine with them in second. I don't care.
2-15.
Bro.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
7-10. I think it's a pretty.
I had them at 8-9. Okay, I don't hate it. So so we can get some non-biased takes. What do you honestly think will happen to the Titans this season? I've said what I think will happen. What do you think will happen?
I think y'all start off slow. I think Tannehill will get benched. Here's the key, though. Malik Willis comes in and absolutely stinks it up. I think that happens. And then Will Levis comes in, and he looks good. He looks good. He looks like he can be your starting quarterback next year. And we already know this defense looks so good on paper. Jeffrey Simmons is so underrated. He's such a beast. I think he's the top 3 defensive tackle in the league.
Speaking of Jeffrey Simmons being underrated, Madden, why the fuck is he an 89 overall and only a star dev?
Exactly. I mean, I would give him superstar or X Factor.
Bro, I'm putting him at a 95 X Factor.
I really am too, and I'm not even a Titans fan. I mean, I love Jeffrey Simmons. I love Harold Landry. Kevin Byard's one of the best safeties in the league, if not the best. Fight me anyone that says Mink is better.
Kevin Byard is the best safety in the NFL. People kept talking about last year. Hold on, I'm gonna go on a rant. People kept talking about last year about how Kevin Byard didn't have as good of a year last year than he did the year before.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Teams would not throw his way. And that's not, I mean, that's kind of me saying that, oh, he's on the level of like a fucking lockdown corner. It's kind of true. I mean, Kevin Byard had 6 picks through like 7 weeks last year, and then teams just stopped throwing him his way. He picked off Stafford twice.
And here's the thing with, defensive back, safeties, and corners. If you don't really hear their name mentioned, that's an awesome thing.
It is. I did not hear Kevin Byard's name mentioned almost any last year, and I don't miss a Titans game. I haven't missed a Titans game in probably 6 years. But that's a good thing, because teams would not throw his way. But
it is.
Sorry, that's my rant.
That needs to be a short. So, third place. I think you're really going to disagree with this one. I have the Texans.
I mean,
at 6.
I had the Colts and the Texans both at 4-13. So,
I think this team takes a step. And okay, I'm gonna go back to the Bears here for a second. The Bears won 3 games last year, but how many of them were 1-score games that we lost? Okay, this team really had a bright future. I know the defense was horrible, god awful. I'd never watch them again. But Justin Fields, man, I mean, he took that next step. You got excited. I think something similar happens to the Texans this year, even without a lot of wins. I think Will Anderson will emerge to be really good. I think C.J. Stroud will have an okay rookie year. And, John Mechie coming back. Thank God he beat cancer.
Shout out John Mechie.
Shout out John Mechie. I really like John Mechie.
I do too. I like his character too.
Yeah, he's awesome. He really is. But I'll go ahead and move to my last place in the FC South. The Indianapolis Colts. I have them going 5-12.
Who would be coming off? This is off topic. Who would be coming? So Will Anderson will probably come off the left end, I'd assume. Who will be coming off the right side?
Probably Jonathan Grenard.
They still have Jerry Hughes, don't they?
Yeah, but
and Chase Winovich, I think.
Yeah, but Winovich kind of plays inside a lot too.
True. Yeah, probably Grenard.
Yeah, I mean Grenard's had his moments, I mean, or he went to Florida, correct? Coming out, I was kind of big on him, and he's had his moments in the league.
Yeah, Grenard, because Grenard's probably in year. I think he just finished year 3. I think he was drafted in 2020.
Had his moments, man, and I still think he can be a good player in this league. I really do, and I'm excited to watch him beside Will Anderson. I think it can be really good. But I'll talk about the Colts here. I'm not as big on AR as other people. That's not.
Anthony Richardson in the slightest, and it's not even biased. I wasn't big on Anthony Richardson before the draft.
I think I'm the one that got you on that train. Because we the film when I was just.
And there's positives to Anthony Richardson. I mean,
there's so much upside.
There's stuff that I like about Anthony Richardson, but I don't know.
Anthony Richardson can be a better Cam Newton. He can. If he reaches his maximum potential, I really think he can be.
I mean, bias aside, maximum potential, I think he could be better than Will Levis. Way better.
Yeah. But here's my thing with Anthony Richardson. He didn't start a lot of college football, and whenever he did, he had a 57% completion percentage. That's not good. For anyone that don't know, that's actually really bad. And I think his mechanics are horrible. I think they're awful. We was watching the combine, and these receivers are running 10 and outs, and he would release the ball so late. And I know AR's got a cannon, but I just feel like for him, he just doesn't have a lot of experience.
The number one thing that turned me Levis over Anthony Richardson was just the pocket presence and the footwork, because footwork is one of the first things I look at in a quarterback is how comfortable they look in the pocket, and Will Levis just looks way more comfortable.
Will Levis, man, he has a hell of an arm. And I'll talk about Will Levis here for a second. I'm so big on Will Levis. I'm not Mel Kiper big on Will Levis, but I love him.
Mel Kiper would start an OnlyFans with Will Levis.
I swear to God he would. But here's my main thing for Will Levis: his decision making and sometimes his accuracy. And I'm not going to fault him for last year. I know a lot of people like to hold last year.
That Kentucky team was kind of the same thing that happened to Sam Howell. Like, he lost everybody. Sam Howell lost everybody at UNC. Yeah,
but here's like Will Levis, too. He lost everyone and his play caller. Will Levis was in a shitty spot last year, and he had injuries. Now, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee, and I feel like 99% of people watching this would agree. But just from a quarterback stance, I like what I see.
Where did he put mayonnaise in his coffee come from?
I just wanted to talk about that. Dude, I saw that and it grossed me out. Like, because I'm a coffee drinker, I drink black coffee.
I just want to say this. If I'm gonna manifest this shit, if we ever fucking blow up, I hope one of you fucking fans make a clip channel and just make like funniest moments compilations and shit. I swear to God, if one of you little fucks will do that and I can afford it, I'll pay you. I swear to God I will, because I would love to just watch a clips channel of just our funniest fucking moments.
Y'all need to see behind the scenes. It gets pretty bad.
It's been bad tonight, fucking technical difficulties, but we're still here. Hey, we're 41 minutes in, too.
Hey, all I'm saying is if you wanted to see a different side of him, You need to see behind the fucking scenes when it comes to internet because
So
he runs his channel. He does like the
I'm a cybersecurity IT major in college, so it's my field, but it just sometimes it pisses me off.
he does the thumbnails. He edits. He deals with the technology. See me, I can't do that shit. He can. Because trust me, if it was me doing this shit, I'd probably have a bunch of stick people as our fucking thumbnails.
I'm not good at thumbnails. Now, I wish I could learn thumbnails. I need to learn Photoshop.
But anyways, you want to move on? Actually, I'll tell the seeding in my AFC. So number 1 seed is the Chiefs. Number 2 seed's the Bengals.
Okay.
Number 3 seed's the Dolphins. 4 seed the almighty Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
The 5 seed the Bills. 6 seed's the Jets, and 7th seed is the Ravens.
All right, let's. You want to hop into the NFC?
Yep.
All right, so hopping in to the NFC, take a little break, refresh with some Mott's apple juice. Mott's sponsor us.
We've got a
I don't know.
splash lemon water. It won't even pop up on the camera.
Sponsored by Elf Bar. Elf Bar sponsor us.
Also sponsored by the Boys and Girls Club.
And Bush Light. All right. Anyway, enough sponsors.
Coors Banquet.
Enough sponsors. Okay. So I'm gonna start with the NFC East. The Eagles. The Eagles is pretty simple for me. Winning the division. Went 14-3 last year. Jalen Hurts, of course, was the MVP runner-up. And there's literally no reason why this Eagles team should miss a beat. I've said it, I've said it numerous times, and I'll say it again. I completely forgot what I was going to say, but I've said it numerous times, and I'll say it again. I think I was going to say that I know what I was going to say. The Eagles will not have a Super Bowl hangover. I know they didn't win it, but they're not going to have a Super Bowl trip hangover.
And I know people will be like, well, they lost so many key pieces on defense. To be honest, I don't give a damn because it's that good, and they nailed the draft. Drafted Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter. You have Jordan Davis from last year. You still have Fletcher Cox. Brandon Graham's still a good player at 34 years old. It's such a good team.
Second year in Kobe Dean.
Mm-hmm.
Terrell Edmonds is on that team. I did not know that was a thing.
James Bradbury and Darius Slay and Avonte Maddox as your corner.
Can we show some James Bradbury and Darius Slay some love? Because whenever Darius Slay got moved from Detroit, I feel like a lot of people, including myself, I'll admit it, wrote Darius Slay off. And despite age, that motherfucker feels like I wouldn't say he's gotten better, but he hasn't regressed. Darius Slay is still the same Darius Slay he was in Detroit. Same one.
And James Bradbury was all pro last year.
I think that the year that year he had in New York was damn good, but the year James Bradbury had last year was fucking elite.
It was elite.
And of course, they still have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. I'm not gonna go too in depth about the Eagles, but even though
you got Fast Batman, I forgot what else AJ Brown said, but it was pretty funny.
Oh my god, man! I will say this: I still got love for AJ because, especially after we figured out that John Robinson kind of fucked him over, I don't really blame AJ, The only fucked up thing that I still don't agree with is him abandoning that camp in Tennessee that had all the kids at it.
Yeah.
That's really fucking corny. But that's why Titans fans were mad at him. It was never the trade. A lot of the Titans fans that were mad at him were because he abandoned that camp and they had kids and shit that were at that camp.
Now, I will say whenever they traded AJ Brown, you absolutely blew up. If that was recorded,
What was I? So it was one of those situations where I was so mad I don't even remember. Was I more mad at John Robinson or was I more mad at AJ Brown?
AJ Brown at the time. You hated him at the time. I remember you got up, you flicked your chair, and you was cussing. Oh my god! You was like, Treylon Burks is never the player AJ Brown is.
I think. Yeah, and then John Robinson got fired, and we figured out or he didn't get fired, he stepped down, and then we figured out, that he didn't offer AJ what he was supposed to offer him.
Oh, $18 million, wasn't it? That's
lowballed the fuck out of AJ.
I think he offered him 15 when AJ won at least 18. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's
something like
like
that. But yeah, man.
oh, AJ Brown said there's thick Batman for AJ Brown, there's slim Batman for Devontae Smith, and there's fast Batman for Quez Walker.
Oh
So
yeah.
Batman's no Robins, no Robin.
But second place, I'm really big on the Giants, just because I'm big on Dayball. I really am. Um, I'm so big on the Giants, and I think Daniel Jones, despite the fact that I don't think Daniel Jones is an above-average quarterback, I think he does have a better year this year. I mean, and then Saquon's bounce back season, in my humble opinion, was a little bit overrated, but still did have a nice year, all things considered. And yeah. And then the Cowboys finishing at third in the division. I do have them winning 10 games, but I really struggled to get them to 10 wins. Like, I when I finished this, I had the Cowboys originally only at like 7 or 8 wins, and I went through and changed some things. I just don't see the Cowboys. I mean, the Eagles are going to be the Eagles. I think the Giants are going to be better, even better than they were last year. I just don't think the Cowboys. I don't know, man. I don't think they. I don't think they've got the team. I'm not a Dak believer. So
I said this, it's not that Dallas is a bad team. You just see bad teams have average years, and strength of schedule part in that. And I do agree with you. I think I had the Cowboys winning 9 games. So I think it's just one of those instances that a good team on paper just has a down year. They lose some close games. I mean, it happens every year. It does.
And then finishing off, I got the Commanders. I'm really not going to go into depth about that. I do have them at 2 wins. That's low. They could win more than that, but I am a Sam Howell believer too. I do want to include that. I am a big Sam Howell believer, but
I'm mixed on him. Pretty much.
And then of course you got Terry McLaurin, second year Jahan Dotson. I think there's a lot to like about this Commanders team.
And I will say, if Chase Young can stay healthy,
and Chase Young's another guy. I mean, if he can stay healthy, Chase Young's a problem. I mean,
because you've already got Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. It's such a good defensive line.
But moving on to the West, my top 2 teams for the West, I got the Niners and the Seahawks. I got the 11-5 Niners and the 10-6 Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are going to be. I think the Seahawks are going to be pretty much. I would say where they were last year. I don't think they're going to be any better.
Now I'll ask you this: does Geno have the same year he had last year?
I think Geno kind of coming out and like being as good as he has. I love Geno, first of all.
Yeah, I mean we are West Virginia fans. We do
fucking love Geno.
With and Tavon
this Geno Smith situation reminds me a lot of the Ryan Tannehill situation, and I'm scared that like Geno will he was really good last year, obviously, right? I think that he might have another good year this year, and then maybe it kind of turns into like a Ryan Tannehill situation where it's like you've got this aging quarterback who's he can win you some games, he's proved that, and he can put up good numbers, but you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Here's my take on it. So yeah, we kind of said we was going to try to go by this one pretty fast, but I just got to say it. I'm kind of on board with you. I think Geno this year may not have the exact same year last year, maybe a little step down, but I still think he'll be a really good quarterback. And then I think next year's going to hit, and you will see some regression.
That's what really scares me.
But here's the thing, though, with Seattle, are you going to put Drew Lock in for him? God, I hope not. Because if you're putting Drew Lock in for him, that's shit.
Pete Carroll did beat the Russell Wilson allegations last year, though. I will say that.
He did.
Because I've been very critical of Pete Carroll in the last couple years or so.
I too. But yeah, I'm not a big Pete Carroll guy.
He beat the allegations. He did. I'll give it to him. He did. There's a lot to like about this Seahawks team. I mean, obviously, Geno Smith at quarterback. They picked up Noah Fant in the Russell Wilson trade. You've got they drafted Smith-Njigba. You've still got DK. Smith-Njigba will be out, I think, for the first couple weeks. He had surgery today.
Better be careful how you say that name there.
But anyway, he had surgery today. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but they're projecting him to be out for a little bit. You still got DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Um,
Very
there's
underrated receiver.
there's definitely a lot to like about. Oh, they drafted Kobe Bryant last year too. Um,
Love that
there's
pick, even if it happened.
and then Kenneth Walker, can't forget him. But there's
Woolen.
yeah, there's a lot to like about the Seahawks team. There really is. So the Rams were another one that was really tough for me. I did have them finishing at 8 wins though.
Oof.
And I'll be honest
Oh,
with you, like I always try to at least go semi in depth on my reasons why. I can't tell you why. Because I think a fully healthy Rams team, like I'm sitting here looking at the Rams roster. I mean, a fully healthy Rams team isn't a bad team. I mean, you still got Cam Akers. The team drafted Tutu Atwell 2 years ago, I think.
Booger Booger.
Matthew Stafford, Cooper Cup. I mean, there's still stuff to like about this team. I feel like, but offensive line
And
is fucking horrible.
all right, you ready for the hot take?
Yeah,
Aaron Donald is the greatest defensive player of all time.
I don't think it's a hot take.
I know people disagree with that, but I mean, Aaron
Well, I
Donald's
mean,
that
if,
damn
if
good.
it's not if it's not Aaron Donald, it's Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, it is. And I had Lawrence Taylor over him for the longest time. I just can't do it anymore. Aaron Donald's that good.
I agree. I don't think that's a hot take. I mean, I think I might maybe would still have Lawrence Taylor, but
Yeah, I don't disagree
but
with
yeah,
that
but
either.
I don't think I don't think you're wrong, and I'm not sure if that's a hot take. I actually don't know how people feel about that. I have no
We
idea.
need to make that a short.
How do you guys feel about How do you guys feel about who are we talking about? I already forgot.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. How do you guys feel about Aaron Donald versus Lawrence Taylor?
Is
Uh,
Aaron Donald the greatest defensive player of all time?
there you go.
Yes or no?
There you
And I
go.
don't want a yes or no. I want a damn explanation for this shit.
Yeah.
I want y'all
So
to.
so Tyler's little brother. Whenever you comment on this, don't just say that's crazy to say. Give us a reason.
Yeah,
I'm
come on.
calling you out. But anyway, Rams at 8-9. Honestly, I could see it being 8-9, and I could also see it being way less. Um, Cardinals 4-13. The Cardinals are not going to be a good team this year.
And I don't think the Cardinals are as bad as people say. But here's the key part to all this. Kyler Murray's missing the first 6 weeks, and I don't think that team will win a damn game this
I
first six
completely
weeks.
forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
Bro's going to be playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, well, Colt McCoy's on the field. Horns down.
So, and then we're gonna hop into the South. This is easily the worst division I had. I predicted like this division's probably gonna be ass. I had the Saints winning the division at 9-6, and I could,
Sick.
huh? Oh, I
I mean,
must have
now,
missed a game. 9-7, my bad. What game did I miss? Somehow, I missed 2 games. Damn, that's crazy. Well, 9-8 Saints, my bad. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. The Saints. I just think the Saints are the most complete roster in this division. I guess.
yeah, it's
I
the
mean,
best roster.
if the Buccaneers had a if the
Someone
Bucket
not.
yeah if the Buccaneers had a quarterback not named Baker Mayfield, I would say the Buccaneers, or not
Yeah,
or a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. But
or Kyle Trask, everyone. Kyle Trask is going to be the next Tom Brady. Hell no. Actually, that's okay for anyone who didn't watch week by week, which I'm sure no one did.
no one probably did.
Me and Logan hate Kyle Trask. I didn't like anything about his game. I'm going to be honest.
He got really bailed out by Pitts and Kadarius.
There he is.
Bad.
Yeah, bad. It's just
Who was
here.
the
Let's
running back
throw.
on that team? Was Damian Pierce on that team?
No, Dan.
Or was that before him? Or after him? Before him?
I think
after
that was
him?
before him.
I'm going to fact check that real quick. But what year would that be? The 2020 Florida Gators, right?
2020.
And
Because
then,
that was Big Five quarterback class.
Right. And then I got the Buccaneers finishing second at 6-11. Although
Ooh.
I still hope.
Could you try again?
Why are you talking, Siri? I would still love to see Mike Evans go over 1,000 yards though and keep his streak alive. That'd be pretty fucking sick.
I don't
It'll
have an
happen.
answer for that.
I
But,
put money on it. It'll happen.
It will or won't?
It will.
You think so?
I put money on
Their
it.
running back was Damian Pierce. Malik Davis
It
was
was.
also Malik Davis was also on that team. But anyway, and then the Panthers. I think Bryce Young is gonna experience some growing pains. I mean, I don't know. I don't think any of the quarterbacks from this year are really gonna surprise anyone as a rookie, and I don't think Bryce Young is an exception.
Aiden O'Connell, come on now. You know better.
Jake Laner. Anyway, but and then moving on to Atlanta, I got Atlanta at last place at 4-13. I think that there's stuff to like about Atlanta, but I don't think Ritter's the answer. Obviously, you still have Pitts, second year, Drake London,
Bijan.
who they drafted, who is.
This can be a very fun offense. Very fun.
But why draft Bijan?
I agree. I'm on the board of not spending a first round pick on a running back unless you're the Eagles and you just want to be even better. It's the running back position, but Bijan's also going to dominate out of the gate. Bijan's that good of a player.
Bijan is probably gonna have like a Saquon type rookie year as far as like how I'm not saying that they're the same player, but what I'm saying is as far as everyone's gonna hype him up and
Yeah, and then he'll get injured by year 3 and not be the same player.
Or actually, I think a more fair comparison maybe for Bijan, it would be like what JT did with the Colts in his rookie year.
Yeah. But if you want to be honest, I think Bijan has more explosive speed to him
What, than JT?
than JT.
Oh, 100%. He's a better receiving back too.
Yeah, Bijan, dare I say, a generational running back. I don't even think that's crazy.
I don't either.
Now was he Saquon at Penn State? I don't think so. But Bijan is that damn good. And he's also running back, so he may not be good in 3, 4, 5 years. Who knows? Or maybe he's like Derrick Henry and plays good till he's 30. Okay, I'm going to hop on the running back talk here for a second. I understand why teams don't pay running backs.
The running back hate this offseason has been a little bit absurd.
It has been, but I understand why they don't pay him.
I think
I do.
I think in the only sense that you should pay a running back is if they are a generational, like a Derrick Henry, because there is no reason Derrick Henry should still be good.
Oh, he's 30.
No reason Derrick
He's
Henry should still be good.
Banged up. He played behind a horrible offensive line.
He is going to have such bad CTE. He might be crazier than Antonio Brown when he retires.
Yeah.
I hope not, but
Or this tight end that played for the Patriots. Hey, man, he was a killer on and off the field, let me tell you.
what was his name again? Anyway.
Yeah. On.
But and then I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the North. I'm gonna wrap up the North semi quick because
We're in the North.
Well, because I've talked about the Lions a lot already in the first 2 episodes, and I've made it clear I love Dan Campbell. I would suck Dan Campbell off, and I can't say that, but I love Dan Campbell, man, and I think the Lions go 10-7 and win the division. And then I have the Vikings and the Bears both finishing at 9-8, and then I have the Packers finishing at 8-9.
Even that felt a little rich for me.
I think the Packers. Here's what I think the Packers' identity is going to be this year. I think the Packers are going to just be really run heavy and have a good defense, and I think that they're going to win games with scores of literally like what Tennessee was doing a couple years ago. Like I think they're going to win games with scores of 17-13. Like I'm serious.
I just don't see it.
I could see 8 wins, but I could also see 5 wins. I think a lot of it depends on Christian Watson too, how big of a step he takes in year 2. But
Man.
it falls on Jordan Love. This Packers season falls on Jordan Love.
It does. It does. That's the bottom line.
And he's impressed in preseason. I mean, he hasn't been bad by any means.
All right, so what's your seeding for the NFC?
So my seeding for the NFC ended up being the 1-seeded Eagles, the 2-seeded Niners. I hate that it turned out like this, but the 3-seeded Saints, it's just because of the division thing. The 4-seeded Lions, the 5-seeded Seahawks, the 6-seeded Giants, and the 7-seeded Cowboys.
All right.
Like I said, I hate that the Saints are the 3-seed, but
All right, I'll give you my standings. So, do you want to hear the NFC North first or last?
go first. Go first with the North, because
First.
that's what you're going to talk about the most. So go North first.
So, for any of you Bears haters out there, fight me. And I really did put bias aside when I'm doing this. I really do love the young talent we have, and I don't think this is crazy. I have the Bears winning.
Aside, but he has them in the conference championship.
I actually don't.
Oh, you were joking about that?
Again,
Thank God.
I have the Bears going 11-6, and
Thank God.
I don't know.
Thank God you
I know,
were joking about that.
but you cannot like this young talent we have. Tremaine Edmonds is only 25 years old.
Bayless Jones is so good too. I mean,
you're not hopping on that. I cannot go on another rant about him. So for anyone wondering, I played Madden yesterday, and Bayless Jones smoked the punt.
did he really?
Yeah, just like he does in real life, and I'm not kidding. I left the game. I didn't save any of the progress, and I immediately turned it off, deleted the game. But anyways, Justin Fields, man, I'm gonna ride him for a second. He took a leap last year, and I know people are gonna be like, "Well, he can't throw the ball." Shut the fuck up. I mean, honest to God truth, his number 1 and 2 receivers last year were Equinemius St. Brown and Dante Pettis.
Oh, don't.
And I would say Mooney just hurt this season, but he had no one open.
Does Dante Pettis still have like the pink top on his hair, or no?
No, he has like a little black fro going on. He can catch a punt like Bayless.
True.
But you brought in Yannick Ngakoue. It's hard to evaluate Yannick Ngakoue because he does get the pressures and he does bring down the quarterback, but he's so bad against the run. It's actually a problem. But if Yannick turns out to what he was like back in Jacksonville, you got a hell of a player. You do. And I want to praise Tyreek
I think what made
Stevenson.
Yannick look so good in Jacksonville was the fact that he was playing beside Calais Campbell, who was one of the best run defenders in the league. And I think that made Yannick look... I say Yannick. I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but...
I say Yannick and Yannick, I swear. It's just...
I say both, but I think it made him look a lot better in Jacksonville than he actually was.
Which he still is a solid player. Just in Jacksonville, he looked elite. That's the bottom line.
He looked like he was trending towards one of the better pass rushers in the league.
Yeah, he did. And the Bears drafted Darnell Wright with the 10th pick in the draft. Darnell Wright, to me, is one of those guys where you can't go wrong with him. He doesn't really offer you that versatility, but you plug and play right tackle, this kid will be good day one. I really believe that. He was so good at Tennessee. So good. And, prayers up for Tevin Jenkins. He's hurt every fucking year. Again. He tore not one calf muscle, fucking two. Two! I've never even heard of that happening. Never. Did you pause? I heard a click.
No.
Okay, well, ignore that. But, so I guess what the Bears are doing now is Braxton Jones at left tackle, who was a solid 5th-round rookie last year. He played solid. Cody Whitehair's moving back to guard. He's always, just a solid option. Lucas Patrick at center. The thing with Lucas Patrick is, and I know a lot of Bears fans are starting to dislike the guy. I like him. He offers you that guard center flexibility on both sides. And, he can be an okay player. He's an awesome backup to have, and he can start some games. So he's going to be the center. Right guard, Nate Davis. I know you're not a big Nate Davis guy, but Nate Davis can be a good starter in this league. He can. And right tackle, obviously, Darnell Wright. We drafted Javon Dexter from Florida and Zach Pickens from South Carolina. Both have such high potential. Freak athletes. I cannot wait to watch them. And I think the linebacking core is debatably the best in the league. Debatably, I didn't say the best. I might still put the 49ers over them. But Tremaine Edmonds, P.J. Edwards, and Jack Sanborn. It's hard not to get excited as a Bears fan. And I've said for the last, was this now, 2, 3 years, I knew we were going to be bad. I knew we was. The 2019 season, I had hope. After a kicker's whose name I shall not mention.
Cody Parkey fan club.
Nope.
If you
Fuck
were
you.
subscribed to this podcast, you're a member of the Cody Parkey fan club.
No, you're not. But anyways, 2019 season I had hopes, and then 2020 was like, whatever. Get rid of Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy, piss on them, do whatever. 2021, it's like, okay, Justin Fields takes that next step or whatever, and I've always just known that we weren't going to be good, but this year, man, it's just such a different feeling. Eberflus has these guys fired up, and it's so awesome to see as a Bears fan because it's been years of torture. It has. I had to watch Mitchell Trubisky, Nick Foles. Yeah, the list goes on and on, and you have a guy like Justin Fields who offers you the wheels. This dude's so electrical with his legs. He can throw the ball. Fuck you to anyone who says he can't. He has a cannon. He can be accurate. But when your receivers are Equinemi St. Brown and Dante Pettis, you're fucked. You're fucked. I don't even know if Brady or Mahomes could make it work. And that's the God honest truth. So, I have 11 wins. Anyone can argue with me. Fuck you. Fuck you. But anyway, second place. I have the Detroit Lions winning 8 games. It's... And no way do I think Detroit's just not going to be good. I think a lot of people are expecting them to win like 12 games and, be a top seed in the playoffs.
Isn't Jameson suspended for the first,
Yeah, 6 games.
Yeah. What's he suspended for?
I think gambling.
Oh, my God.
Just don't gamble. You're at millions of dollars.
He probably wasn't even gambling on NFL. It's probably the same reason that fucking Petit Ferrer's suspended. It's just so stupid.
It is, but it's also a rule. You already make millions of dollars. I don't know. That's just.
I think if they're not. I think if as long as they're not gambling on football, then who fucking
Yeah,
cares?
I think that's okay. But I have Detroit winning 8 games. It's Detroit. They're not going to live to the expectations. You see it all the time. All the time.
So you think now that they last year, no one expected it, and then you think now that the expectations are actually there.
And Detroit's going to be Detroit. And I don't think they'll be a horrible team, but I think they'll be an average team. But anyways, I'll try to go a little quicker here. I have Green Bay winning 6 games. I think they'll suck. Bottom line.
Where do you have the Vikings at?
At 6 wins as well.
Ooh.
Now let me fill that in a little bit because you kind of went over Green Bay and I kind of do agree a little bit. So Minnesota, I believe Kirk Cousins does have a down year. He's 34, 35 years old. He's an above average quarterback as of right now. I think he has a down year. You lost Dalvin Cook. I know he was injured a lot, but
I don't know how much. I don't know how much them losing Dalvin Cook actually it matters obviously.
It does.
I don't know though. And Alexander Madison's a damn fine running back.
I think their defense sucks.
Then they added another weapon. They draft Jordan Addison.
I like the weapons they have, and it's not that I hate the team, but if you look at this 13-win Viking team last year and how many one-score possession games they won, you do realize the Bears had the same amount. Those records could have swapped.
Oh yeah, easily.
The
Vikings were frauds the whole year last year. We all knew that.
It was. And I keep riding the Bears. I'm a Bears fan. Excuse me, but we had a lot of one-score games lost last year. It was the opposite for the Vikings. If those roles were to have been switched, what do you think people would be saying then?
Who knows?
Who knows? I don't think the Vikings are very good. That's the bottom line. Justin Jefferson's the best receiver in the league, but they have no defense.
I think I think that they're gonna have a good offense. I don't think Kirk Cousins is a down year. I think that I think they still have a pretty good offense. But
in no way do I think Kirk Cousins is bad, but I don't think he puts up stats that he usually.
But the defense thing, you're definitely right.
Yeah, it's
not good.
It is. And, I think next year is going to be like when the Vikings are, okay, I think it is time to move on from Kirk Cousins. Because you have to sooner or later. it's Kirk Cousins, and he's an okay quarterback, but you're not going to win a Super Bowl with him. You're just not.
I got rid of
He's
Kellen Mond fast as fuck.
yeah,
He was not good.
he was not at
That
all.
was horrible.
But I mean, like I said, if anybody are watching these, comment below. I will be more than happy to talk about anything with you. Be more than happy
All
because I'm
jokes
always
aside, comment like if there is stuff that you guys like disagree with us on or something. Like actually comment. Like we're not gonna argue. We want to debate. We like sports. Like,
yeah.
that's
We love
that's a genuine thing. Like we might talk about it in the podcast. I mean,
now unless you say something like Baker Mayfield's the top 10 quarterback in the league. I'm going to call you ridiculous.
I won't because they're trolling. It's just
I'll
trolling.
still call him ridiculous.
It's
That's
kids
just
Peyton's age who think they're cool.
probably.
But
But go on to the NFC South here. I have the Saints winning 9 games. It's exactly like what you said. They just had the most complete roster.
yeah,
That
and if like I said, if it was any quarterback even slightly better than Baker for the Buccaneers, I would have the Buccaneers winning that division.
I have the Panthers winning 8 games. I like their team. I think Bryce Young has an okay rookie season. And 8 games does seem high, but you got to think of who they're playing twice a year. So
This is completely
I
off topic, but Daniel Vogelbach is fat as fuck. Okay, sorry. That's all I had to say. God, dude,
but
he's big.
game. I have the Buccaneers winning 5.
I had him at 6.
It's Baker Mayfield. I hate Baker.
Yeah, and then it's like if Baker gets hurt, then it's Kyle Trask. So
Yeah, and that's even worse if you ask me.
Daniel
But
Vogelbach is 270 pounds.
how much does Leonard Fournette weigh now?
Oh, bro, probably the same thing as Daniel Vogelbach.
What's-
Leonard Fournette is listed at 228 right now. But that's
Shit.
yeah, shit.
Yeah.
228, my fucking ass. There's a reason ain't nobody signed him.
Yeah. But I had the Falcons winning 4 games. But see, I will say this. If Desmond Ridder plays okay, and I know the defense ain't good, I think this team could realistically win 7, 8 games. But that's only based on the conference they play in.
Leonard Fournette. Holy shit.
What?
Leonard Fournette is 260 pounds right now.
What?
Bro, he's Eddie Lacy.
Holy shit!
Let me see. I mean, obviously he's not as big as Eddie was. Let me see what Eddie Lacy weighed. No, he is bigger than Eddie Lacy.
No shot.
Eddie Lacy, for his year in Seattle, weighed in at 253.
Dear God. I never thought there'd be a running back bigger than Eddie Lacy.
It's just Eddie Lacy was 5'11".
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette's like 6'1", I think. So, I mean, there's,
I don't know what the hell Leonard Fournette was doing over the offseason. That's insane.
eating fucking cheeseburgers.
Exactly. But I'll try to wrap this up. I'm going to go with the NFC West. I have the 49ers winning 13 games. I'm not a big Brock Purdy guy. I've said that. But it's Kyle Shanahan and it's the 49ers defense. And Christian McCaffrey. And George Kittle. And Debo. And Brandon Ayuk. And one of the best lines in football. Is there much more else I need to say? This team's damn good. If Brock Purdy can even be below average, he just don't need to be horrible.
Do you
This
think that
team's
team would be good with Baker Mayfield?
no. Moving on. I have the Seahawks winning 11 games.
Moving on.
Yeah, we kind of went over this. I mean, it's just a good team, and I think
Yeah, we did go kind of in depth with the Seahawks whenever.
So I'll move on with that one because I mean I agree with everything you said. I have both the Rams and the Cardinals
So
winning.
I want to hear your Rams thoughts. Not that I'm disagreeing. I just want to know.
Stafford coming off that big injury. I do think he can be good again. I do, but what's the likelihood? Playing behind an offensive line like that. And obviously you still do have Cooper Kupp, but he's coming off an injury as well too. And if you look at this team on paper, the Super Bowl year versus this year, it's so different. So different.
Completely.
I don't think this team's good. I mean, that's the bottom line. I think Sean McVay's one of the top coaches in the league.
I think McVay will bounce after this year.
I hope he would. Because this team has no draft picks. This team's not good on paper.
I mean,
They have
but
like a 37-year-old quarterback.
they won the Super Bowl though, so
They did win the Super Bowl, so I'm not going to hate them too much, but man, they have no future.
I mean, they
None.
literally gave everything to win that Super Bowl.
They did. I mean, they won the Super Bowl. Good for them, but it's just like, Now when you look at it, a
The
couple years
Rams are
later,
literally in fucking hell though for the next like 5 years, maybe
and
even
their cap
more.
situation is
Yeah,
god awful.
they have no picks.
No
The
picks.
the Rams are in fucking hell for I'm just saying Rams fans like honestly if I won a Super Bowl I probably wouldn't give a fuck
I wouldn't either, but
but I'm just saying Rams fans like I hope it was worth it for the Super Bowl. Like I'm not trying to say that in a dick way. Like I'm genuinely saying like I hope it was worth it for the Super Bowl because you guys are probably going to be buns for probably the next 5, 6, 7 years at least.
I'd say 10.
I would say yeah I would almost be willing to say the next decade the Rams will not be anywhere near contention.
You know, it would be something if the Rams became like a dynasty for a couple of years. Like 3, 4 years even. But you traded how many years for that one Super Bowl? And they did win it. I'll give them their credit. You won the Super Bowl. That's the main task in the NFL. But you gave up your whole future
Stafford
for
has
that.
really only ever been on one good team in his life
He
in the
has.
NFL. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Like, it's
good
crazy.
team that 1 year, but he's just. Yeah, you do feel for Stafford. He's never been on really any good teams. I mean, and he does have a Super Bowl. I mean, he does, but man, it's a shitty situation in LA. It really is. But I'll talk about the Cardinals here. As I mentioned earlier, I don't think the Cardinals are as bad as people make them out to be. I think they have a lot of pieces. I'm not saying they're good. I'm just saying I don't think they're like a 3-win team. But I have them at 4 because of Kyler Murray in the first 6 games. That's just
I'm gonna pull
yeah.
up the Cardinals. Let me see. So we got obviously Kyler, but it'll be Colt McCoy week 1. You got James Conner, Keontae Ingram, Corey Clement's there, and then wide receiver room. You've got Hollywood still. You've got Rondale, Zach Pascal, Greg Dortch. Obviously Zach Ertz still there. Trey McBride, second year guy, third year guy, something like that. Then across the line, DJ Humphries, Elijah Wilkinson, Hajalt Frodlet. That's their center. Will Hernandez and Paris Johnson, who I like a lot.
Man, I've heard worse offenses. I haven't. I don't. I'm not saying it's gonna be good. Because then people will be like, "Oh, you act like they're gonna win." Shut up. I mean, honestly, God, this team's not good. I will say that, but this team's not a 3-win team, and I do have them at 4. But as I mentioned, it's because of the Kyler Murray suspension. Horns down, Colt McCoy. Hope you suck.
This defense too is.
It's not very. I mean, there are pieces like AJ Terrell. I think Isaiah Simmons can really be something, but you know, there's not a lot.
They're
Thompson
not even
over.
I mean, Buda Baker's there.
Yeah, Buddha. I mean, they do have pieces. It's just, I think the one thing about the Cardinals that you really miss is the pass rush.
I think the Cardinals went all in on that year, the Kyler Murray and D Hop year, the year where they were like actually healthy, and it just didn't work out.
We'll say though, BJ Ojolari, if he can blow up that backfield, oh my God. I mean, blow it up, man. BJ, I about said Dickerson. Sorry, Bengal, but
It's a dick pic.
that's a dick pic.
That's such an iconic line. It's a dick pic.
Yeah,
BJ Dickerson.
we're big Bengal fans. Go subscribe to him. He's
Bengals
awesome.
sponsor us. Give us money. No, I'm just kidding.
Come on the podcast one time, please. Come on. We beg.
We don't have money
We'd be
to
like-
offer you, but we have friendship. We can offer you friendship, Bengal.
You'd probably roast our asses on shit, but please. Please.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't debate Bengal.
Oh, I wouldn't either. He'd torch me. He would.
Yeah, I'm not getting cooked. I don't even know if I'd debate him about my own team, because he'd probably still cook me.
Probably.
He'd be like, well, actually, in 2006, Tennessee, I'd be like, my bad, dude.
But, okay. Just sit back and take it. But I'll get this last division out of the way and we can talk about the playoffs because I know this podcast is probably going to be pretty long.
We are at... it's going to end up being almost 2 hours.
Are you shitting me?
No. It's going to be about an hour and 40 minutes, probably. Hour and 50.
Okay, I'll go ahead and knock this NFC East out of the way. Philly wins 13 games. I mentioned same thing as Logan says. Team's just damn good.
Mm.
I have the Giants at 10 wins. Now, I did hate on Daniel Jones pretty bad, but as I mentioned, he can win you games, and Brian Dable's a very good head coach. Uh, I have Dallas at 9 wins. We did talk about that. I just think good teams have down years, and I know Dallas has a pretty difficult schedule this year, and I think it just happens to them. And I have Washington winning 5. But I will say this about Washington: I could see Washington actually being good if Sam Howell plays at a decent level, and if Chase Young comes back healthy. This team can actually be pretty good. But 5 wins for them. So, do you want to move to the playoffs?
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
so
I'll tell my NFC seedings real quick. I got one, actually not the Eagles, it's the 49ers. Two is the Eagles. Three is the Bears. Bear down. Four is the Saints. Five is the Seahawks. Six is the Giants, and seven is the Cowgirls.
go ahead and hop into your playoffs. I got to redo mine for some reason.
Yeah, I do too. It'll just take me a second. I remember what I picked.
Well, I've got my wild card round pick. So, for my wild card round, if I can get this to load, why is the playoff predictor website being so slow?
All right, so we're going to start off with the wild card. We're going to do AFC and NFC. So we're going to have the number 4 Jaguars versus the number 5 Bills. I have the Bills taking that. I just don't think Jacksonville's ready. And Josh Allen gets a playoff win. Next up is the number 2 seed Bengals versus the Ravens. I think Bengals. Joe Burrow's clutch. He'll get the job done. And then the next AFC wildcard spot, which is the last one, is the number 3 Dolphins versus the number 6 Jets. I think the Dolphins win. I really do like this Dolphins team. Speed's electric. You ready for the NFC?
Let's hear it.
All right, number 4 Saints versus number 5 Seahawks. I just think the Seahawks are the better team, so I have them winning. Number 2 Eagles versus number 7 Cowboys. Eagles, dominant. Number 3 Bears versus the number 6 Giants. Give me the Bears.
I mean, if it's the Giants, I don't have a problem with them winning. But if it was against,
That's why I picked them. So
if it's against the Giants or like the Saints or something like that, I don't really have a problem with it. But if it was against like one of the top dogs, then
well, guess what? The Bears are about to beat the Eagles too, baby. I'm
okay,
kidding.
buddy. So hopping into my AFC, obviously with my the bye, I had the Jets. And then I got the 4-5 matchup of the Ravens and the Jaguars. I'm taking the Ravens in that. The 6-3 matchup of the Bengals and the Dolphins. I'm taking the Bengals. The 7-2 matchup of the Chiefs and the Bills. I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't think Josh Allen gets old Mahomie. And then in the NFC, the Eagles were my 1 seed. Coming in at the 2-7 matchup, I have the Niners and the Cowboys. Going to take the Niners in that. At the 6-3 matchup, the 3-seeded Saints against the 6-seeded Giants. I have the Giants in that. And then at the 4-5 matchup, the Lions and Seahawks. I have the Seahawks taking that.
All right.
So
let's move on to
let's hear your divisional round.
All right. So we're gonna have the number 1 seeded Chiefs go off against the number 5 seeded Bills. Chiefs. Come on now. It's Patrick Mahomes. Here's an interesting one. Number 2 seeded Bengals versus the number 3 seeded Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins.
Okay.
Give me the Dolphins. Moving to the NFC, I have the number 1 seeded 49ers against the 5 seeded Seahawks. Give me the Niners. I think it's just a better overall team. And as much as it pains me to say it, number 2 seeded Eagles versus the number 3 Chicago Bears. Give me the Eagles.
So my divisional round. Now I'm going back on something I originally said, but I got in the divisional. I got the 2-seeded Chiefs matched up against the 3-seeded Bengals. Taking the Bengals.
Okay, I don't have a problem.
Burrow's proven he can beat Mahomes. Something Josh Allen hasn't done. So the Jets, and so this is where it gets interesting. 1-seeded Jets and the 5-seeded Ravens. I'm taking the Jets.
Okay, but with that matchup, I don't have a problem.
Fair enough. And then in the NFC, I've got the 1-seeded Eagles facing off against 6-seeded Giants, taking the Eagles. And then I have the 2-seeded Niners going up against the 5-seeded Seahawks. Give me the Niners.
Okay. Moving on to the conference championship. It is for both of us this rematch for the NFC. We'll start with the AFC. Number 1 Chiefs versus number 3 Bengals.
So
It's the Chiefs.
Okay. Keep going.
I gotta go with the Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes, it's Andy Reid, it's Travis Kelce, it's Chris Jones. Do I need to keep going? And for the NFC, the rematch, the number 1 seed 49ers versus the number 2 seed Eagles. 49ers get their redemption.
Okay. So we have different Super Bowls. So who'd you have coming out of the AFC? I'm sorry, I brain farted.
I had the Chiefs.
So we have completely different Super Bowls. Okay.
Okay.
So my Super Bowl is the Bengals and the Eagles. So I got the Eagles coming out of the NFC and the Bengals coming out of the AFC. And I'm going to take, drum roll please, who does Logan have winning the 2024 NFL Super Bowl? Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Don't disagree.
Joe Burrow is winning the Super Bowl this year. You heard it here first.
Did I say my Super Bowl winner?
You did not.
Okay. Okay, well, my Super Bowl, we have both number 1 seeds. Again. Give me the Chiefs.
Okay, so Chiefs. The Chiefs, I mean...
You can't pick against them.
Yeah,
it's
no,
so
you can't,
hard.
bro. It's like Brady. You can't pick against them.
Yeah, well, see, we lost Brady, and then we picked up Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
so.
like that's the thing, bro. And of course he's in the AFC, because why would he not be in the AFC?
Hey, I'm glad, personally. As a Bears fan.
I'm sure you are, and I'm sure you're glad Tom Brady was in the AFC all those fucking years.
Oh, before we hop this podcast off, we got to show the beer shirts off again. You know, Coors Banquet, Busch Light, amazing beers. So, we are over 21, by the way, for anyone asking.
We are not. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, man. We had a lot of fun, as always. Remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, do all that fun shit. Comment below, tell us, what you thought. Also, give us some stuff to talk about. Like we said earlier, horns down. Like we said earlier, if there is something that we talked about that like you necessarily don't agree with or something, comment. We're not gonna shit on you guys. Like,
We actually enjoyed it.
yeah, no, it's because the issue is with me and Tyler, right? Me and Tyler agree on a lot of things, and that's kind of like, it's not an issue per se, but it
doesn't add.
Exactly. So me and Tyler agree on a lot of things. So by getting you guys involved, it gives us stuff to debate, and that's something that would be really fucking sick. So manifesting as always. Podcast is gonna blow up one day. Stay safe. Don't do drugs. It's been real.